Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Simply Sketchy. And once more I am joined by the man, the myth, the legend, Fat Dave! Now
I
you,
am I'm glad to grace you with my presence once again.
I mean, you've been gone for a while, so we're making up for lost time here.
Yeah.
And also you guys might wonder why we did the wrestler intro. Well, Dave gave me a primer about what you're going to talk about today, so it's going to fit, believe me.
Yeah.
So speaking
So
of which, do the introduction. What the hell am I doing?
right. So currently I'm doing a campaign with a couple of people for Gamma World, the role-playing system, which is an old TSR system. And it was originally invented, I think it came out in '85 was when the first edition came out. And there's been subsequent ones, so it was a TSR property. And it's about, it's a post-apocalyptic one. So it's basically, the Wasteland video game took inspiration from this universe. And then that universe, or that
Took inspiration from Australia.
Fallout took inspiration from Fallout. Yeah, so Fallout is vicariously or second generation away from Wasteland. So Wasteland was one of the OG like post-apocalyptic properties like this, and my character in our current campaign is a sentient cactus. Because there's plants, there's sentient plants. He's a sentient cactus that can manipulate light to become invisible, but also he dampens light around him, so he makes everything dark around him.
Sounds like the scariest fucking thing ever.
Yeah, and he's got stealth skills, and wrestling. So we rolled these randomly. So
it fits just so well, dude, because it sneaks up to you, and its specialty is keeping you in like wrestling poses, so it can stab you better.
Yeah, he's gonna give you a big hug. He does lots of damage, and so it was really funny the way we rolled. Because we basically, like, I knew he was going to be a plant, and I wasn't sure what I was going to do with him beyond that. And so we rolled, like, the random character creation tables, and it ended up giving him animal parts, ended up giving him light manipulation, ended up giving him density control of others, which I haven't actually used in the campaign yet. I can make other people bigger or smaller. Hasn't become relevant yet. And
I mean,
then
a lot of people can make other people bigger and smaller. It just depends how.
Yeah. So and it gave me my two physical mutations were barbed leaves and animal parts. And so he's like cactus. So I was like, oh, you know what would be awesome is and I had wrestling and stealth. So it's like it'd be awesome if I just had this like stealth assassin guy that ran up and hugged people, killed them, wrestled them, and just subdued people with melee moves. Because I usually play a tank, but I'm usually playing a big melee engaged character. This guy's a stealth wrestling assassin, which I thought was hilarious. And so I'm like, we'll make him a cactus. And we got hung up on his method of locomotion, because generally in Gamma World, sentient plants their locomotion will revolve around either being carried by another character, that's one way to do it, or they have mutated roots or something like that helps them move. And so I decided that we'll cut out that issue of locomotion and just give him spider legs. And so instead of having instead of having to worry about roots or anything, he's got spider legs. So he's a mutated cactus with spider legs. And so then I thought, what's better than wrestling as a cactus and then get around with spider legs?
Does he speak Australian?
So, no, actually, his name's Chiapis. I think he would, if anything, he'd have a Hispanic accent because he's from that desert.
I'm a luchador.
So, but it was funny when we first introduced him because one of the big issues that comes up a lot with plant characters, and mine was no different, was how to communicate with other people. Because it's not like plants can talk. You can't.
Photosynthesis and I thought, is not conducive to audio, last I checked.
Yeah. Well, you just don't have the parts to do it, generally. So, I was really hoping to get telekinesis or telepathy, or not telekinesis, but telepathy as one of my mutations, but I was not fortunate enough to do that. So when we first had him, when we first met up, my character had found, so we met up in an area called the Flowerlands, in our current crusade. We're in this big area where there's a huge irradiated area, and so it's caused all this mutation and shit around it. But people live there, some large settlements, and the characters encountered me shortly after the beginning of the campaign. I missed the first few sessions for some personal issues. And
so I gotta ask, is this accurate to? Is this accurate enough?
Yeah, no, that looks good.
All right, we're going with this.
Yeah.
I'm just putting it like this. Anyone familiar with the VTM? I'm getting like major Nosferatu vibes from this thing. Just saying.
It's so they called him the Ghost of the Flowerlands because he was stealthy, and so anybody who was really causing too much problem in the Flowerlands or anything like that, like he could sneak up on them and kill them. If it was people burning plants or destroying stuff, he could sneak up and scare them off and whatnot. So
the ultimate environmentalist.
Yeah, kind of. He's gotta protect his own people, kind of thing. It's a little different in a universe where plants are sentient.
It makes sense to be racist against fauna when you're flora.
Oh yeah, well, he doesn't make a distinction. It's funny because there's mutants and there's humans, right? And there's mutant humans and there's mutant animals and there's mutant whatever. But it's funny because I don't have to make that distinction. As a plant, it's just like there's either smooth humans or furry. Or there's smooth people or furry people.
So there's true people and abominations. Gotcha.
Oh yeah, but I don't care because neither of them are. They're non-plants. So
the Inquisition disagrees.
So I don't care. And it's fun, and that's been one of the interesting parts of this character has been role playing that I'm somewhat separated from a lot of human concerns, but also I'm curious about it because I like my party members, and so I want to know, I want to understand more about what humans do and what people do. I keep saying humans. It's not humans. I don't care about humans. It's just people. I want to learn more about what people do, and why they're that way. And so, it's just been an interesting way to do it because I can just kind of be really aloof in some situations and be like, well, that's just people stuff. I don't care. Especially when they're like, we need to find shelter. I was like, there's a sky. I don't care.
It's on Earth, you'll find it.
But it's been kind of an interesting thing too, is looking at that, like it's kind of it just gives us a fun avenue to role play, where like as a plant, have to kind of think about how much a plant would not give a shit about certain things. Right, like not even not give a shit, just would not, maybe not even not care, but just completely not be able to comprehend the concept of some things. Like it just don't make sense.
Yeah, I'm pretty
And
sure that
so,
the economic factors would be much of a thing for you.
yeah, right. Money was a hard thing to like when we started doing it, it's like, well, I never needed money before
Well, I
because
have
I
a
don't
feeling
need
you'd still
shelter.
dislike. I'm still pretty sure you would disagree to Lysenkoism.
Well, yeah. No, yeah. I mean, yeah, the strongest plant survives. Everybody knows that.
Oh yeah.
But like one of the things we're doing now is there's a giant mining operation by the Ranks of the Fit is the name of the outfit, and they are a bunch of animal supremacists, mutant animal supremacists. So they hate humans, and I don't know if they've been in the book or if Will, my DM, has come up with them on their own. But he's been great with some of the because we met an anti-human an anti-human, I would say prophet. I don't know if he was really a religious leader, but he was one of those guys that stands in the court square and riles people up. And he was a rabbit, and he was talking about how, like, you don't want to be pets. We don't want to be pets anymore. And how the animals that join up with humans are they're just their pets. And it was really funny. Yeah, right. So
this stuff actually sounds kind of fun. I'm gotta admit.
it's pretty rad, dude, and the world is really interesting.
Rad as in cool
Like
and
I don't.
irradiated.
Yeah, yeah. The system is interesting too because it's a D100 system. So instead of rolling D20s for shit, everything's based on a percentile, and everything's based on a chart, a success chart. So you roll your rank, and then you have a success chart. Like whatever you roll in there determines your ranks, and then however good your rank or your success is how much like damage you do, or how much, how good your skill attempt is, basically.
Understood.
Yeah. So, like 40K, all their RPs do they're 100, but they do degrees of success, which is different than a static chart.
I got you.
So it's a bit different. It's the first system I've ever played like this, because most system I've played are fucking roll 20 systems, right, or D20 systems. Like D&D and Conan. We did Conan and Pathfinder. Those are the two I was doing mostly. We're just starting a Rogue Trader campaign with my IRL folks.
Rogue Trader is cool until you start meeting Nurgle.
My guy's the Navigator.
Oh god.
So we're gonna see.
You got some funny rolls ahead.
Oh, dude, yeah, and I have notoriously bad rolls, so we're in for some fun times with my people. However,
just keep your extra character handy, and whatever you do, don't listen to the voices when they speak to you. The voices are not your friend, okay? Just heads up.
Yeah. So for some reason in Gamma World, when it comes to the wrestling, to the fighting, I always do really well for wrestling. So this guy will almost always, when I engage someone, like I'm gonna do a bunch of damage to him, a lot. When I get a hold, and for some reason, like, the wrestling rules with this guy are the only times that I feel like, oh, I'm gonna crush this guy. I don't ever have much apprehension about and thinking like, oh, I'm gonna fuck this up. It's like, because I have notoriously bad rolls every time, but for some reason with this guy, my rolls aren't bad like that. They're not bad in the same way.
The power of photosynthesis fuels you.
Yeah. Yeah. So there
Gonna
was a point where
photosynthesize your ass.
We encountered some like they were flying like bat-like things, and everything's weird and mutated. So we encountered these flying like bat things, and I ran in and grabbed one of them, and like in the process, like the act of me grabbing him and hugging him like just basically impaled it across my body. It's like, I'm gonna grab this bird, squish.
So
like
it's
just
basically
squished it all over. It did so much damage to it.
It's kind of like that bird that after it kills something, it just spears it on either cacti or thorn bushes.
Yeah.
But you don't have to do you don't need the bird.
Right. And that's the other funny thing is that, like, well, I'm a plant. I don't care if I'm clean. Like, I'll get water, but I don't care if I have, like, the viscera of this animal smeared across me. Like, the scent isn't necessarily offensive to me, right? Like, so, offensive odors are kind of a weird and alien concept in a way. So...
I mean, you'd be pretty big into compost, I'd assume.
Yeah, so he could walk around with like gore and viscera on him, and it wouldn't matter to him. So,
this concept of cleanliness.
Except for he's learning, right? Well, he's learning that it's like uncouth, and that like humans don't like it, basically.
The word uncouth entertains me.
I wouldn't say that he thinks it's uncouth, but yeah.
So, what language do you think this guy speaks then? Is he,
So, he knows sign language and hand sign language for, I think it's Wastelandian or something like that, and then he knows body signaling. So I can use just my body to signal messages to another guy on our team that knows it.
Basically, I'm giving him the universal sign of go away.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. So, and our team's funny because we have a purebred human or a pure strain human, and then we've got a human that's like a mutant dwarf. He's a dwarf, but he's a mutant human. And then we've got another dude who is a mutant human, but he mutated in such a way that he looks like a giant mutated turtle. He's a human, but he looks like a giant mutated turtle. And the funny thing is that he's big and mean looking, but he's like weak as hell. Like his strength modifier, his strength stat is really low.
So he's the deception guy, I hear.
Yeah, so he spits poison, and so he does that from a distance. But
looks like a brawler is the ranged coward. I love it.
Right, and then we have a dude that is a dabber, is what they're called, which
Stabber
is basically
or dabber?
Like dabber with a D.
Okay.
He's basically like a mutant raccoon kind of thing. Like that's what dabbers are, a race of like raccoon-like people, like little mutant raccoon people.
Okay, what I'm seeing now is just a raccoon with a burglar mask, and he's just dabbing on people being annoying.
Yeah. He's kind of like Rocket Raccoon in a way. But like my RP group is awesome. I've got some really good dudes we play with. and it's really fun to, like, I've been playing with the same group for a long time. We did 3 Conan campaigns. We're actually in the middle of the 3rd one, and something happened, and we switched over to Gamma World. Somebody had some personal problems, and it threw the group off a little bit. So then we switched over to Gamma World.
Sometimes.
And then, and so now we're on our 2nd Gamma World campaign. So we've been gaming together, and we do it on Discord.
Welcome to the trippy world of sentient plants with spider legs.
Yeah.
Are you sure this thing is not fucking Australian?
Oh yeah, right. No, I know he's I think Australia got probably sunk.
Gotta have
sunk
some
during
die.
The big mistake is what they called it.
Mistake.
The big mistake is what they called it when the apocalypse that led to the fall of modern civilization to create this post-apocalyptic wasteland.
Usually I hear that one connected to like 9 months before someone's birth.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
But,
so
yeah, our first campaign, I was a mutant tree in that one, that was a pre-made character. So that was a pre-made character, pre-made campaign to introduce us to the system.
So you were an Ent.
Yeah, pretty much. Except for he was more of a ranged character. The Ent was.
With guns?
Yeah, he had 2 crossbows that he always carried. He always fought. He had 2 crossbows that he could shoot.
Please tell me he used his own twigs as ammo.
Oh, that would have been smart. That wasn't part of it though. He had, probably wouldn't be as good of ammo, and it might hurt, and it's probably not as sustainable. I mean, you don't want to break off your fingers and shoot those at a fucking slingshot. It's not far off from what he'd be doing there.
Nah, but it depends on how quickly they grow, you know.
Yeah. Well, plants have really good healing.
They do, and also if you snap something off, it'll grow back.
Oh right, yeah. But in Gamma World, they have pretty good healing as long as you have access to sun and water and earth. If you can have access to like the regular shit plants need, then you can heal up pretty quickly. But
sir, you lost 90% of your limbs. It's okay. I used the power of photosynthesis.
Right, we just grow everything back. Well, I got a big chunk blown out of me. Like some guy shot me with a gun and blew a big chunk out of me. Like put me down to like 10 HP. Like did a lot of damage to me, but then like a week later I was fine. So.
Aha, your attacks on me are freaking useless.
Right. Well, I mean, if we're traveling outside, then we have traveling across the wasteland. Generally, have access to plenty of sun and earth, and we keep clean water with us. So it's a fun system. It's a really fun universe because the creatures in it are really interesting. Like you can tell when the guys made it, they had a lot of fun doing it. And
when this is a possible character you can get, dude, that is just good.
Right. One of my buddies was saying they played a Gamma World campaign a while back, and somebody played as a fucking vending machine.
A vending machine.
Like a sentient vending machine, yeah. And I'm like, that might be fun. I'm not sure exactly how that would work. But that would be fun.
Hello, sir. Would you like a beverage? So if you can make it
work, right? Well, and he could be bending. You could have arms and legs and shit, or just be a vending machine excuse me, a robot that transformed into a vending machine, or a vending machine that transformed into a different robot. I don't know.
Okay, I know exactly what you're talking about. The vending machine from Transformers 2007.
Right, yeah.
Mountain Dew bot. Fuck,
Red
transforms down, starts. There you go. Apparently, he was killed later by Ratchet, I think. So he didn't get
really?
around.
The vending machine guy?
Yeah, the vending machine robot. I mean, he went around trying to kill people by shooting cans at them.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
But yeah. So the we've done a lot of killing. But we've done a lot of like the campaign's designed in a way that has some really interesting puzzles and the setting itself, like fantasy settings too. Fantasy settings give you a unique way to try to approach problems. But I think post-apocalyptic settings give you a way to approach, because now it's modern problems, right? There's some modern problems we have to, like, oh, we've got to figure out a way to use this computer term. It's like, well, fuck, who knows how to do that?
One of the I love
post-apocalypse.
Yeah, I love post-apocalypse. I also love post-apocalyptic, but one of the best ones is Mad Max Fury Road. Love the movie and I love the characters, and the best part is how Immortan Joe, the villain, was a necessary evil, because you have like the previous world, but you need to go really far back in time in order to have hope of creating a society.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting concept.
It is.
I like Mad Max too. Or actually the Mad Max, not just Road Warrior, because the first one was the Road Warrior and the second one was Mad Max.
That's the one with Lord Humongous, right? The Ayatollah of rock and roll.
I love that that movie.
Yeah.
And I like that because the people there was a group of people that banded together to try to create a society that weren't maniacs. You know, of course they had to fight off the maniacs.
Yep.
In the wasteland, but that's of course what in Fury Road, that's what the Immortan Joe represents, is the fucking wasteland maniacs.
Well, he represents trying to rebuild order. He is what Humongous he is what Humongous wanted to be.
Right.
And the reason why he set off after the wives was because, well, they represented the future of his monarchy.
Oh, right. So, but the Game World universe is not near as homogenized. This is looking rad, dude. I like it.
Alright. Let's fucking go, dude.
Yeah.
Alright, sorry for interrupting you. Keep it going.
No. I was gonna say it's a great outline. I'm waiting to see what it looks like. So, but where was I? Just talking about. But yeah, okay. So the post-apocalyptic, that post-apocalyptic setting, it makes you think of things in a different way, because you have to, you have to, like, it's different in medieval times, right? When you have to come up with a solution to a fantasy problem, because fantasy problems, fantasy solutions, they're primitive solutions, which are not always the case in a post-apocalyptic world. Like, some of those solutions are going to have to be maybe a little technological. And
it would make
like
sense
our
trying to
first,
find old technology to, have a car somewhere where you have like weird riding animals.
right. Well, we have a wagon, right? Like, that's how we don't have a car. We're traveling via wagon because like a car would require fuel, and which is a pain in the ass to get. But if we have a wagon, then we can have, well, we could pull it ourselves if we need to, but then we could have animals pull it for us, and one of our dudes like summons animals, so it works out okay. And even then, a lot of the times we don't always have the wagon even, wagons for traveling long distances. So it is a lot of camping. Which is great, because as a plant, again, it's like one of those things that a plant character doesn't have to concern himself with it.
Well, you kind of want if there's raining or wind or things like that.
Right. I kind of want it to be, I want to be outside, is basically what it is. And being outside, which is, the shitty for a lot of human characters, is just fine for a plant.
Yeah. Are there any sort of like storms or like radiation affect the weather patterns
there? In some places, like, it's regional, and like, I couldn't say where the actual region we're on. Like, if you looked at the current map of the world and compared where we're at, I have no fucking clue where it would be. It's a completely fantastical setting.
Yeah.
So,
but the coolest kind of post-apocalypses are the one where it used to be our world, but whatever went down so hard that it brought in fantasy elements to it. The world got nuked so hard that magic literally just appeared out of the ether.
Right. Well, and that's kind of the Shadowpunk, or Shadowrun world. Is that it wasn't necessarily the world got nuked, it was that there was an awakening one day, and then all of a sudden, like, magic started working, and people started being born as like elves and dwarves and trolls and stuff. Like, people started mutating in different ways, and so yeah, so it fundamentally changed, and then there were wars and all this shit. Like, the Indian nations took back big chunks of the United States, and
well, when your hoogity boogity magic actually works, then you do have a chance against the people carrying guns.
But then it's also has the cyberpunk elements to it, where it's like there's cybernetics, there's fucking corporations, there's hackers. That's one of the original places where the net deckers and all that stuff. Of course, they took that inspiration from Neuromancer, like most other cyberpunk stuff does. But that was one of my first RPG exposures to the. And I don't know if Shadowrun necessarily counts as post-apocalyptic.
Well,
because there wasn't necessarily an apocalypse.
It requires a collapse, large enough collapse at least.
Yeah, that's what I would think.
Yeah.
Right, like maybe just a cataclysm or a catastrophic change in society. But it doesn't count as post-apocalyptic.
So
right,
I
like
think
Blade Runner is definitely not a
post-apocalyptic
world.
Yeah, you need sort of like a grand ceasing of order. So you cannot really call 28 years later a post-apocalypse because it is too small an area where it happened. Because the entire events of the movie is just the entire events of it is just in England or the UK.
Well, because that's funny, because at the end of, did you watch the movie?
I watched all three, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because at the end of the second one, it shows them in France.
Yeah, you know what the
Like the
response
rage
to that
virus got out.
was?
They just nuked the shit out of France, huh?
Yes. Just
Yeah.
mercilessly and brutally nuking France into nothing.
It's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all
They
for
just
it.
nuked France and they're like, good, we wiped out all the infected. And they're like, infected?
I'm pretty sure a lot of countries there were
Uh,
like, yes, totally the infected. Now,
yeah,
what was infected again?
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
it's
still, it's better it would be better to have that contained in England than
yeah,
it would be for it to make it to France, because even if you did nuke France, there's far more likelihood of it spreading.
yeah. Though it kind of depends also where you are, because it mm, you can sort of have a post-apocalypse. In the word itself, it means that at least for me, it has to be on a very large scale, and
Right, right, right.
if not, it'll just be a catastrophe thingy, post the catastrophe.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point.
Hmm.
Um, so how far? So I guess give me the primer on 28. 28 years later? Does
Yeah.
it talk about the virus having spread globally, or have
No,
they
it's
contained it within?
again, as soon as it appeared, because in 28 weeks, right? It's a concerted
Yeah.
effort from America and some other world forces to re-inhabit England. But then it broke out again, and it come to Paris, so people already knew, because how was it 28? Yeah, they had that code red, which would just annihilate everyone and everything there. So it
Right,
shows
right,
that
right.
they know the threat of the rage virus, and that's why they just nuked France when the virus popped up there.
Yeah.
So it's all contained in the British Isles, and there are patrol boats that go along the borders of England, making sure that nobody tries to escape.
But
So
then they can't account for like all the birds.
oh, the birds can't be infected. Only
Well,
humans
but that's
get.
how that one dude got. Isn't that how that one guy got infected and 28
The
days
bird,
later?
the bird itself was not infected. It was that it ate infected flesh and a drop of
Huh?
blood hit. Because I
Yeah,
think
yeah, that makes sense.
only primates can be infected by the rage virus. Because it was first a chimpanzee and then it spread to human. So
Right, right.
it kind of did the AIDS thing.
Did they have? I can't remember. Were there any dogs that they encountered?
Nope. Well, they
No.
encountered dogs, but the dogs weren't infected.
Oh, okay.
And if the infected got their hands of dogs, they would just beat them to death and eat them.
It would just rip them apart. Yeah.
Yeah. Because the rage virus did mutate. You remember that one dude? Because in the first movie, it's just uncontrollable rage, no self-preservation, just mindless hate, essentially, right?
Yeah.
But then you have one of the main characters who sort of turned into the sentient infected, you know? He hunted, he stalked, he attacked people more just to infect them rather than kill them, right?
Right.
Yeah. Turns out that was a new mutation that became a standard. So you have some infected people who, when they got infected, they got a physical boost. So they become these massive behemoth dudes. Yeah.
Okay.
It's, yeah.
Wild.
The movie is in kind of in 2 or 3 parts, I'd say.
Mm-hmm.
The first part is the most traditional. It's the most 28 Days Later one, right?
Right.
The survivors doing survival things. You have a little bit of a thing going on between the father and his son, and then
Right.
it shifts focus to the mother. I don't want to spoil anything, but she's not well, and the son wants to help.
Right.
So it becomes a bit of a journey there. Then you get a little bit of view on the outside world, and it just kind of escalates from there. But it shows in many points how the infected are evolving. So turning more into like pack hunters, pack animals. They still react completely savagery and crazy when they see a person, but they do hunt and they eat.
Interesting.
So they don't just starve. Honestly, again, the first movie is the best one. The second one is pretty good, though it has some flaws, and the same goes for the third movie too. It is not bad, but it's different.
So now here's the question.
Yes.
Because I guess they never. I mean, obviously they never came up with a cure for the rage virus.
Yeah, it just
in
acts
there.
it acts too fast to actually be cured.
Well, so in that case, is there an appreciable difference between the rage virus like that and, I don't know, a zombie virus, a virus that actually kills somebody? Because the rage
Yeah,
virus itself doesn't kill the people.
no, it just screws your brain up and then keeps your adrenaline production on an all-time
Yeah,
high.
yeah.
Yeah, well, it is
Um,
the result is faster and more dangerous zombies, while in the zombie movie, the danger is the numbers and how durable they are.
right.
So one is actually kind of realistic, while undead is not even realistic at all, unless you got some voodoo magic going.
Right.
Or you have
Yeah,
sort of
that's
like a
true.
zombie, something that can create a zombie factor, like oof. Well, fittingly, a plant could do it. Fungi could do
Hmm.
it. The cordyceps is
Yeah,
the cordyceps is an extreme from The Last of Us, but it could work.
yeah, yeah.
And then you have I've seen a series, I don't remember what, but it's kind of a flower that it infects people and then turns them into these semi-zombie things. I have no idea
Oh,
from
Invasion
what.
of the Body Snatchers is something like that too.
Oh yeah, though that one just wholesale replaces your body with a double.
Right, right, right.
Yeah. And then
Just
of course
replaces the person.
yeah, and then you have where insects cause it, like parasites do it.
Yeah.
They're honestly one of the scariest ones in my opinion. Ooh, yeah, Dead Rising actually has that one. Because the zombies there are caused by bees.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. When you get bit, or it's kind of a thing. There is a virus there, but it is also connected to the bees. I haven't really put myself into it too much, but there
Okay.
tends to result in bee growth. So there must be some in the saliva of the. I'm just pulling this out of my ass. I don't know the details. If anyone does, please post
Yeah.
it in the comments below. But I do believe there's some kind of microscopic larva thing going on. So if you get bitten by the zombie, the virus and is merged with the larva of the bee, because the bee and the zombie and the fucking zombie thing is connected. It's really just
Right.
fucking twisty as fuck. I
Wow.
tried to get into it, but it was really just too difficult to get your head into it. Point is, virus and bees connected. And the whole reason those zombies exist is because America needed beef, yo.
Well, everybody needs bees.
Beef.
Oh, beef.
Yes, it was to.
Oh, I thought you said bees.
Oh, need beef
Oh,
too,
okay.
but
Beef.
it was to boost
Beef.
cattle production to make sure that
Oh.
everybody has enough meat.
Oh, yeah. That sounds like some gay vegan propaganda.
Oh no, it's not. Well, it's not gay vegan propaganda. It was more thinking about, yeah, we're just gonna give people beef instead of forcing them to be gay vegans.
Right.
So kind of based on win.
Oh no, I'm just saying that the that game they're saying, oh, it's the beef is gonna turn you into a zombie. That sounds like gay vegan propaganda. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it's a comment on like American consumerism, I guess.
Anti-beef propaganda.
At
Eat
least they
more
don't do it.
beef.
Yeah, at least they don't do
That's the solution.
anti-bacon. Never do anti-bacon.
Yeah. You can't trust people who don't eat bacon.
Never. Especially if they don't like dogs.
Right? So yeah. Don't trust anybody that don't like dogs, don't eat bacon.
Yeah. But yeah, it's there's a lot of ways to do it, and came from post-apocalypse to like different kinds of zombies. We should do
Yeah, there
one
you
on
go.
we should do an episode on zombies one day.
Yeah. Well, we did the Revenant for Fablehaven
Yeah,
a while
which is
back. That's kind of like a zombie.
well, it is definitely technically a zombie. It is, but that one is magically created. But it's
Yeah,
the same principle though. You have the nail is the reason why they do their thing, right?
yep. Well, it's the nail that's keeping him alive. The
Yeah.
cursed nail is keeping him alive. So, but I don't know. There's the the post-apocalyptic society, like or a framework where a virus takes over, whether it's like the rage virus or a zombie virus or something like that.
Hmm.
Like I don't know how. Like I think that's probably honestly, it's honestly the most likely scenario. There's gonna just have some, like, that's how the world's gonna end, is with some freaking stupid lab leak. You know,
Yeah.
bunch
It's
of gay vegans break in to rescue some monkeys, and those monkeys release a virus that ends up killing all of humanity.
yeah,
Something like that.
Ebola AIDS that gives
Yeah,
you anger control, anger management issues.
but because that's what, like, there's so many. That's what The Stand is based on. The Stephen King's book, The Stand, is based on a virus called Captain Trips
Really?
that destroys society. Yeah. Um, that's a really, I actually really love those books. That book, The Stand. I thought that was a really good book. It's super long, um, which is why they made it into the miniseries. I like the miniseries too. There were a few things in there they took liberties with, but a lot of
Stephen
the
King
stuff
was
in there
good
was
until
really
he
good.
turned crazy.
She was good until he sobered up, is really what it was. Stephen King was much better when he was intoxicated and not.
Oh, that
And he
goes for
didn't.
a lot of creators and artists. Sometimes you just gotta
Yeah,
stay on that grind, I guess.
he got too wrapped up in his own politics, is what it was, and then all of a
Yeah.
sudden he started dragging that into everybody's life.
That's usually how you go,
So
and if you do that, then you deserve to lose everything you have. Just saying.
he was better off doing coke and acting crazy instead of being sober and acting insane.
Yeah, he was more sane when he was on coke, or so I hear.
But yeah. So The Stand I thought was a really good book, and then, yeah, that's about a virus too, super flu. They end up calling it Captain Trips, but it was a super flu that escaped from a lab. Um, and I just watched the Andromeda Strain the other day. That's a really interesting movie.
What's that?
Um, a- it's about it's a movie from the '70s about um, a, sci- a, s- the science a scientist's a scientific team's response to an extraterrestrial virus that came. So a satellite landed, um, crashed in a small town, and everybody in the town died except for like two people, um, because they couldn't figure out like why those people didn't die. But the virus, like, turned everybody's it made everybody's blood clot immediately, so your blood basically like dried out and turned to sand.
Holy shit.
um, but it was quick, like people died super quick from it. And so they were testing and testing and testing on it. That's what this movie was about, because um, they had to contain it, and it started to get loose. So it started to get loose, and so they had to figure out how to um, solve it, or how to or what to do with it. And it turns out that it mutated and all this stuff. End of the story, it ended up not dying. But the kind of interesting part about the movie, and I guess the real focal point of the movie, aside from the virus, is the facility that they have built to study the virus. Like, there's some world-renowned guy got all this government funding to build this giant underground facility to study these viruses in a way that they would be so contained, um, and in the event that the virus, or one of the lab animals or something escapes, then there's a nuke that goes off automatically and blows up the whole fucking facility. Right, because that's better. Um, the alternative to a virus escaping and infecting humanity from this lab is to just nuke the whole fucking lab. Well, they
It's
found
a
out with,
permanent solution.
right? Well, they found out with this virus that when you hit it with radiation, it made it mutate rapidly. And so they figured, like, oh, we're not going to actually kill this virus. It's going to kill everybody here, and then it's going to mutate this virus and release it into the atmosphere. So at some point, there was and I'm not going to go into detail about the movie, but at some point, like, the virus seemingly is going to escape. And so the nuke's armed and starts to go off, and one of the scientists has to stop it from going off because it's set to trigger automatically. And I think at one point they said they spent like $6 million or something, $60 million on the facility, which is a lot back then. With like a pittance now, I can't even imagine how much something like that would cost now. But you know that. And what was the other? There's a shit ton of apocalypse. Like Outbreak is another one. That's a Michael Crichton book. But the movie with Dustin Hoffman, where the monkey escapes and they're trying to stop him.
There's a lot of good disease movies out there.
Yeah.
Because a disease is, well, pandemics are scary. And I can't really talk about more than that, I guess.
Yeah. Well, I think that I mean, we're not in a fictional setting. Yeah. It seems like the
an
easiest
enemy
way to.
Yeah.
It's an enemy you can't fight against.
Yeah, because you gotta. Well, your body is fighting it, but it's not you can't do shit to actually aid that fight. You just have to endure it until you die yourself, or your body miraculously saves your ass.
Right, and it's an existential threat.
Yep.
Right, like it's a threat to all of humanity.
Yeah.
It's not just a threat to you because it's going to kill you; it's going to kill other people. And
well,
if it's spread
reverse
from you to other people really quickly. Then...
Yeah, a reverse example of how scary they are is take the Martians from H.G. Wells, right? War of the Worlds.
Yeah.
They were so advanced that they had annihilated all kinds of diseases on their planet. Nothing left. Not a virus. It was just Martians. Right?
Yep.
So when they came to Earth, absolutely trashed us and dominated us. We didn't stand a chance. Technologically, militarily, we didn't stand a chance in hell. The Earth belonged to the Martians in the end, at the latter part of the book. However, Martians didn't really, apparently, have forgotten about biology, because they really didn't prepare for it. They just thought they could go in, feed on humans, kill humans, do what they wanted, and just colonize Earth. Which kind of shows how reduced Martian society really was. I could get more into detail, but I won't. But they were not prepared for the interference of God, you could say, because they got killed by the common fucking cold. They snatched up a dude who had a cold, ate him. That thing mutated immediately to affect Martians, and it was like the Black Plague on steroids for those guys. They didn't stand a chance. They got steamrolled. They died immediately.
Well, dude, that's what killed most of the inhabitants of North and South America. You know, after the Europeans landed, it wasn't like North and South. It wasn't like the Europeans went through and did a genocidal rampage and killed all of the natives. Like, it was disease. It was It was old world diseases being brought to the new world because they weren't effective. They weren't equipped to handle those diseases. That's where most people had like developed immunities. Like European people developed immunities against it. You know, the Native Americans had not. And so when they got exposed to it, and especially since Europe had like cities and civilization, which forces people to live next to each other.
Yeah.
which is
cities
what causes
are
disease. It's
cities
the number
are
one cause of disease.
yeah, they're
So,
plague-ridden hellholes.
yeah, pretty much. Pretty
You
much,
can
but
you can
it's
the viewer, the average viewer can probably tell that my opinion of cities is very negative.
Well, then, but like, virus mutation and stuff like that is an unavoidable side effect of large populations.
Yeah.
Because as one passes to another, it as a virus passes to another person, then it adopts part of their genetic code and mutates slightly to match their genes a little better, and then so on and so forth until it's got a really robust system. But then also, as it passes around the population, like your body develops an immunity to it, my body develops an immunity to it, because in the end, viruses don't want to kill their hosts, because that means excuse me.
That's right.
Their life cycle stops when their host stops, right?
Yes.
So a virus doesn't necessarily want to kill its host. So most viruses will mutate into, although harmful, a less deadly form.
Yes.
And so
because a virus is just pure survival and nothing else. I don't even, in many ways, you can't even consider viruses a form of life.
They are. I guess the thing is to determine whether they're they're life, but it's because they're not the same as bacteria.
No.
Right? Like they're
so far smaller. It's again, I don't know much about this kind of crap. I think Beza can give you.
Yeah.
Will probably give you a good idea of it later, but it is what was the guy said? It is the most basic form of life. It is of the simplest type, where it is just pure survival. It is after to survive and continue.
Right.
And if a virus's goal is to become either undetectable in your body or symbiotic.
Right. Well, I tell you, the best way to win Plague Inc. is to make sure your virus doesn't have any symptoms until everybody's got it.
Yep.
Make sure it's just as harmless as possible. Like this virus does absolutely nothing but spread.
Yeah.
Until it doesn't.
Plague Inc. is one of the most entertaining horror games I have ever played.
Oh man, I've had it on my phone for God knows how long.
It's just good.
And it's fun. I mean, it's a good little game when you're bored. You don't have anything else. Like if you're waiting somewhere, that's a good game to play in a waiting room while you're bored, because you're just like, okay, I'm gonna annihilate humanity here while we're
stuck in. When you're stuck in traffic, I think a lot of people play Plague Inc.
God. No. Maybe passengers. I don't know.
Oh, I'm talking stuck in traffic. Some dumbasses ruined the road and you need to sit and wait for an hour.
Ugh, kill me.
Yeah,
that's the worst.
Hour-long roadblocks aren't that common in Norway, but when they happen, they
Yeah. But
talking about plagues, viruses, life.
So big at looking at this at the shading here. Oh yeah, so but yeah, so that post-apocalyptic, like the virus apocalypse. Of course, I think it's a pretty common theme, and it's a pretty realistic one. It's not realistic, but it's one most people can wrap their head around. Because a lot of people can't really comprehend what would happen if bombs blew up major cities and sprayed radiation everywhere and caused like the actual destruction of society that way. You know,
I think only a population of a certain country could ever fathom and understand that.
Well, right, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and they ended up making anime.
And that was 2 bombs.
Yeah, imagine if they
You know,
dropped the
there's
third,
currently
anime would be real.
right. There's currently like supposedly Russia has 6,000 nuclear bombs that are more powerful than the
Yeah.
two that we dropped on Japan.
Yeah, and even if
You know,
you, even if what I want to say, like only 25% of them are functional, that's still a
right?
lot.
That's still a lot. And
They
we,
make some big booms.
America supposedly has like almost 5,700 or 52. I mean, no, we have an insane amount, like enough to where we really could wipe out society.
Yep.
You know, there's just so many. It's that mutually assured destruction thing.
Which honestly, that alone, mutually assured destruction, has avoided more wars than any other program in humanity.
I think it kind of has.
Yeah. I think we should give a Nobel.
Unfortunately.
I am not kidding when I say that the dude who invented the atomic bomb deserves a Nobel Peace Prize.
Oh well, I mean, he got a Nobel Prize already, so.
Oh yeah, but the Peace Prize too. Because again, that has stopped so many wars. It's only countries who are there's. I don't really think there's been a war between two nuclear power countries.
No, there has. Well, I mean, not a major one because India and Pakistan went to war, but unfortunately they stopped.
By decree of YouTube, that was a joke. Ikke at jeg er helt uenig, men hei, hva kan jeg gjøre med det?
But they, no, yeah, there hasn't been any major war between two nuclear powers, and even if there were, like, even if India and Pakistan did go to war, I think it would be pretty unlikely that either one of them would use a nuclear weapon.
The best example
like incredibly
is
unlikely.
The best example of just seeing how good of a deterrent a nuclear weapon is. North Korea has not fired a single nuke against anyone yet, because they know that as soon as they twist that fucking key, even Kim Jong-un, that guy, that thing, understands that hey, if I turn this key, I will make sure that everyone fucking dies, and I do not want to die.
Right.
Yes.
Like that's really what it would be. Like if there was a nuclear apocalypse coming, or if somebody used a nuclear weapon, it's like it's either setting everything off or it's gonna turn the whole world against that one country.
Yeah. I
right.
think
Like if North Korea did drop a bomb, I don't think that Russia or China would stand behind them. You know, necessarily. I guess depending on the circumstances, but. Like, that's such an extreme measure to take.
Yep.
You know, dropping a nuclear bomb. It's just
yeah, because it mutually assured destruction. You hit, everyone dies, or well, we get a world where these things become a reality.
Everyone dies and then comes back as mutants.
Or the most scariest thing, anime might become real. And for some people, be like, "Oh, that's base. That's nice." No, it's not. No, it is not. It is not.
It depends.
It depends on what kind you get. But imagine if you get all of them.
Because if it was like some of the space ones, that would be kind of cool.
I mean,
you know?
Gundam would be nice until the Principality of Xeon pops up and start throwing goddamn colonies on Earth. Of course, now they.
Well, I mean.
Well, actually, when you think about it, well, okay, you know what? Never mind. Xeon kind of would be okay because they got Australia and Canada. So, what was really lost there of importance?
See, I like Outlaw Star.
Huh?
That was a good Outlaw Star. That was a good space-based one.
Why does that sound so familiar, and why can't I remember it?
It's an older one.
Is that the dude with the gun arm?
No, that is Trigun.
No. That's the Western. I'm talking about the one where a dude has sort of like this cannon on one arm, always smokes a cigar, smiles a lot.
One arm?
Outlaw Star. Is something familiar with that name?
It's not Outlaw Star.
I'm not a good weeb apparently, so whoopsie daisy.
I'm trying to think of what that would be. Well, anyhow,
there we go. We're
but
starting to get
there's
somewhere.
some. Yeah.
Let's see.
So yeah, that looks really good. My stealth cactus.
Yes. I'm gonna try something.
Which says is fucking
here.
horrifying, dude. This guy wants to give you a hug. Like, what the
Yes.
fuck are you gonna do? Run like hell. Like, no thank you, sir. Like, we were facing a dragon. It wasn't it's called a Felgon. It's not, but it's like a dragon. It's like a poison dragon.
Right.
But we were struggling with this thing. We fought him the combat took a long time. But I was really hesitant to get up close to it because it's a friggin' dragon.
Right.
And but eventually I came up, I grabbed it around the neck and was able to hold it still. I did a shit ton of damage to it, but I was able to hold it still while everybody else fucking shot it and killed it.
Can you lean a bit more to your microphone, dude?
Yeah, dude. Sorry.
Thank you.
I can't lean any more or farther into my microphone. It stays right by my face.
Yeah, but when you move in your chair, I can clearly hear you clearer. Clearly hear you clearer. That's a say. Oh yeah, that's a word. That's a trimism right there. Why?
Yeah.
Why must I be the way I am?
No, this is dope, dude. I like that. Yeah, he's holding on to some light. Well, he summons illusions too. That's the other thing, is he ends up summoning someone's illusion. Like today, we got attacked by a pack of these rats that were
rats.
They were like these rats, but they're a type of rat that had a psionic attack to them. So there's little things, but when you get close to them, they'll hit you with a psionic blast. Yeah, they just have a psionic burst power to them, and so they're maybe not psychic, but they live in a colony and stuff, and so we encountered those. But previously in the day, we encountered some other rodents that were like little electricity. They were rats that basically generate electricity. So they're little Pikachus, right? Which this shit predates Pokemon. So it predates Pokemon. So anyhow, when we encountered the psionic rats, I conjured an illusion of the Pikachus. So I had the herd of Pikachus go face the psionic rats, just to keep them busy. And then while they were keeping them busy, we kind of picked them all off.
And now, because you said it's an illusion power, I have a very good bullshit excuse of why the lighting of the cactus doesn't follow the lighting on his hand. So, it's an illusion.
And it's an illusion.
It's an illusion, and not just me being. It's an illusion, and not me being a lazy cunt.
Right.
I swear.
It's don't real.
Yes. It's don't real. It don't real. It don't real.
It's no real.
It don't real. Don't worry. There we go. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, it looks good, dude.
I had fun with this. Holy crap.
Yeah.
So, question. Does this one speak Australian, or does it have some kind of other thing? I mean, it's a wrestler. It's a cactus.
He speaks...
And it doesn't Kamehameha.
He speaks the sign language. So, yeah.
Yeah, but if it was supposed to have a human voice, if as a human, whoever speaks human.
They speak Wastelandian.
Okay.
It's the official language.
I'm trying to get you.
I'm sure it has some Australian notes to it.
Because it's spiders, mate. I'm never forgiving Australia over the fact that spiders exist. Ever.
You did a good job with the legs on that, the spider legs.
I spent I don't want to admit the amount of time I spent practicing them before we started recording, so let's never talk about that in public, huh?
But yeah, that was good.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with this
So,
one. Got me to try a few things.
again, it's I think quicker than our last one.
Oh yeah,
So
we're still far away from the 2-hour mark, so haha.
yeah, take that.
Yeah.
We're
So,
getting better.
damn right we are. Thank you for joining me on this one, dude.
Yeah.
This was trippy as fuck, but it was hell of a lot of fun. I never
Yeah,
expected.
it's
Yeah, this one here was not on my bingo card for this year. Like, draw a sentient cactus wrestler dude who can manipulate light. Fine. That's now
it's the
that's
most absurd thing. It was RN Jesus gave him to me. So RN Jesus delivered.
yeah. Praise our Jesus, cause oh
Yep.
boy. Well, again, then it's time for the thank you round, which is thank you very much to Besic, who does the amazing edits on this video. He does a good job. He has his own channel. Go check down description below. And speaking of channels as well, as the music you've been hearing in the background under me and Dave's rambling, it's been made by Robert Renato, a good friend of the channel. You also find his channel down below. Makes a lot of good stuff, and if you just want a long amount of ambient music or some good music to listen to while playing action games, go ahead. Give him a listen or 5. He deserves it. And to everyone here who took the time out of the day to listen, watch, and or both to look at this video and spend time here, thank you very much. I appreciate it dearly. Got to do the whole please like, comment, and subscribe because that's a YouTube thing apparently, and I'm nothing more but a slave to the algorithm. Yeah, among other things, like taxes. Ugh. Point is, if you like what you see and would like me to draw something for you, my links are down in the description below as well, to my Ko-Fi and to my Twitter, and if you can find me in Discord, just ping me and we can work something out. Furry art costs extra. I know that everything has a price, but the question is, are you willing to pay it? And with that, once more, big thank you to you, Dave, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye, everyone.
Channel A, folks.